I don't have a Bluetooth tracker on that one yet. Yeah, I know what I realized last time when I did this?
Mm-hmm.
I was like behind the mic, so I couldn't see the... Kind of defeats the purpose of a visual and audio cue, right?
Yeah.
So anyways.
Authoritative clack has been input onto your audio line.
See, those spikes look nice and clean, and then you go in and do all
No,
your...
I didn't last time. I didn't. I kept them in there. I told you. I said, I'm going to keep them in there. And I did.
But they had like a weird trail on them. Maybe it's just the room.
Maybe that's what they've always had, and I've just always messed with them.
I don't know. Thank you for my coffee.
You're welcome. My wife got me coffee today. Yeah. So
That's a large coffee.
It is. So I've had too much. We're going to drink some more, though.
I'm going to just turn this just a little.
Did that make you feel better?
Yeah, because sometimes you have this tendency to be off axis, like all the time.
Yeah. That's what I do. I'm the audio guy. I complain to people about being off axis, but when I'm given the opportunity, I screw it up. So the rest of you people know what I have to deal with. Okay.
Anyways.
It's the caffeine talking. I would never admit that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Saying. All right. So, welcome back to the regular dad. I'm going to give you...
I have no idea what we're talking about today.
No, it's okay. You don't need to. I did text you one thing.
I don't even have my phone. It's back there in the...
I'm sure Alexa can retrieve it for you, actually.
She really can't. Not yet.
Why not?
She can do this. Alexa, where are my keys?
Sorry, I didn't find anything named keys. Consider purchasing a tile tracker and enabling the tile skill on your Alexa app.
I thought she could do that. Let's try again. Alexa, where are my keys?
Sorry, I didn't find anything named keys. Consider purchasing a tile tracker and enabling the tile skill on your Alexa app.
Sometimes she doesn't understand.
Well, it's clearly.
Oh, you know why? Alexa, where are Jimmy's keys?
Jimmy's keys are in the great room.
God. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
I was really feeling good when it didn't work.
I just needed to say the right phrase.
Yeah, but I feel worse now that it works.
You feel worse?
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, crap. Okay. Man. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So, Jimmy.
Looks like you're about to start to pray there.
Yes. Wow. Is this our second recording session since the second surgery, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so if you notice, there's still a little nasal thing going on, and that kind of comes and goes depending on the morning and, weather and whatnot. But by and large, everything's good. Breathing during the day.
Did you just wake up one morning and
pretty much
it was done?
It's progressive,
yeah.
But there's been a few key markers where it's like, oh, look, that worked. So it's been a very long recovery. That's all relative, depending on for the amount of time that the surgery took versus the amount of recovery time.
Yeah.
My mom recovered quicker from open heart surgery and was back to normal than I did from this.
Right.
Okay. But my issues, this was far less invasive and, different things. It's just, that's the way it is. And people told me, I talked to a few people. They were like, oh, this is the worst thing I ever did. And it was the most painful.
It wasn't painful?
Well, it wasn't like it was a massage, but, and there was some, dull and residual pain and different things. And I think that it would have been, if I was just having the procedure because they did some type of scan and said, look, we don't think you're breathing well and you need to do this surgery. And it kind of became elective, like I'm choosing to do it. No, I mean, I guess I chose to do it, but I think it would have been a bigger deal. But because I had not breathed well, I'd had trouble breathing since middle of June. We're in the middle of December now.
Yeah.
A few days shy of the middle. But I was seeking a surgical solution and pushing doctor care team at the front end of August. I'd had the...
Yeah, but you had background in this, like your dad.
Yeah, so
you knew what surgery it was. You felt like, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't know how invasive it was going to have to be, but there was two components, and your wife can pick this apart and different things. But essentially, as I understand, I had a sinus infection that led to, because it was so long, and I didn't feel bad, I just couldn't breathe. But because it was so long, it actually turned into where there were polyps and all types of stuff going on in there. So they went in and they were removing tissue and,
Roto-rooter.
it was.
Yeah.
And they did that in the nose. That was surgery one.
What's that tool look like? Is it like a bzz?
Well, I don't know. I was gone.
Because I'm
I was out.
I'm picturing like Borg assimilation, like anybody who's seen that episode of Next Generation. Anyways,
right. So now in my follow-up things, I go in and I sniff. God forbid, don't freak out, because this is doctor administered Afrin. Okay, calm down, Jimmy.
we should issue a Surgeon General's warning here.
I tell you to calm down. All right. Yeah. But, and also lidocaine. So I'd, sniff this concoction that they have. And then they'd run this tool that, I swear to you, this thing's 6-7 inches, right? And it would disappear. And he's going up behind
while
my
you're
eye.
conscious?
Yeah. That's some freaky business, but it's got a little camera and he's just scoping it out. Yep, looking good. And I'm like, okay, what does my brain say? Because you're closer than anyone else has ever been.
What the heck, man?
Yeah. No. That's fine. That's the long, straight one. Sorry, Mom. The one that's curved at the... I don't know that I can finish.
I don't...
No, gosh! All right. For the junior high, not the kids, but those with the junior high mentality.
So hard.
Well, let's just go ahead and laugh it up. I am as well. Gosh. Okay, there is...
Anyways.
All right, there's a device that it's a camera, and he has to get into these sinus cavities. Okay. Same protocol. So he, switches
while you're conscious.
Yeah. This is the follow. This is the post-op. So they're not actually doing anything.
So
I say they're not doing anything.
You've sniffed lidocaine, though.
Yeah.
So you have some numb.
Yeah.
But you've got this thing.
Yeah. It's gone up there. And all it is a quick scrape and grab of anything that might, just kind of, it's gross. It's the, the crusty, nasty stuff that doesn't come out with the flush stuff. But on my last one, they're like, you look good. They didn't have to pluck anything out. But the one that goes up and kind of curls, you see him and he goes up and threads and like spins his wrist, and now he's got a camera in here. Yeah. And I'm like, and you feel a little bit of pressure, dude.
But no, thank you.
So that was interesting. Now, I don't want to deter anyone from getting this surgery because it's been a substantial relief. It was a long recovery, but I'm breathing now. I still get stopped up and everything, but that wasn't part of the fix. There was no like, oh, well, you won't be stopped up ever again. It wasn't a thing. It was just the complexity and all the problems, would be gone, and that the breathing that I would have would be better. And that has been the case. We've been progressively working towards that. So as I sit here now and can, breathe better than I can remember breathing, period. Because everything's straight. Swelling's gone down. Some of the last swelling is still here.
You had a deviated...
not a complete. It was not as straight as it should be.
That?
Removed bone.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So not a rhinoplasty, but a septoplasty.
I don't even know. Yeah.
I don't know. So
I just know that I got punched in the nose in college one time, and I've got a bend that it would have to be, I think, surgically repaired.
I know a guy.
Yeah, not really into that though. After
if you can breathe, fine. I don't, and you don't look like Owen Wilson. Sorry, buddy. We're not actually friends, but you know,
attractive in certain.
Yeah,
the nose is part of the character.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Whatever it is that his little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He's always got that little whine going on. Yeah. God love him.
Loved him in Zoolander.
Oh gosh. Right. Great. It's one of my wife's all-time favorite movies. Now, that's all the. Excuse me. That's all kind of the gross, nasty science. Whatever medical side. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory. So I was having trouble breathing, right? Specifically at night.
Yeah.
All right. That's the middle of June. By the 1st of July, we left to go on vacation, and it went to having trouble breathing at night to not being able to breathe during the day, and a little spot treatment with nose spray, and it was kind of sustainable. That vacation was a multi-stage to get on a cruise ship. It was long when we were gone 14 days, While on the boat, it's just like we hit turbo. And was that aggravated by allergens on board? It didn't, nothing felt like allergy stuff. We don't think it was. We think it was the sinus infection going just through the roof. And, so anyway, from the middle of July on, I could only breathe with nose spray. It would last, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And I knew I didn't need to be using a lot of it, right? I knew that good and well. But it did, what are you going to do? You can't breathe, right?
You breathe through your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cute. So, good. Now, so anyway, we're progressing through this, and I CT scan and then that's at like the last part of July. They interpret those results. In the first part of August, I get the report back. Yes, you have issues that need to be surgically repaired. Make an appointment, and it's 2 months later, the 1st of October, that we scheduled. That was supposed to be the first and only surgery, but October 2nd was the first surgery. All right. From the middle of August on, what began to happen began to literally unravel me mentally. I've never been waterboarded. I don't know the full premise, but I know the overarching theme is you feel psychologically like you're drowning. But you're not.
Yeah.
And it just drives you crazy.
Yeah.
That's why some camps say, hey, well, it's not really torture.
Right.
And I'm not getting,
The point is there's no physical repercussions.
Yeah. So I'm not getting into that debate. Yeah, I don't care, and that's not my fight and not my conversation. But based on that takeaway, like you said just a minute ago, I could breathe through my mouth. And that was fine. Okay. But then your mouth dries out. Okay. And it wasn't just plugged and holding. It was getting worse and worse and worse because everything was growing, all the polyps and everything.
Yeah.
And today, for whatever reason, I'm clearing my throat incessantly.
It's really dry right now.
Yeah. So
East Texans are not used to dry air.
No, we don't know what to do with it. So, but I began to lose sleep. I couldn't use my CPAP at night.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Right.
And
yeah, because that requires you to breathe through your nose, right?
My setup did, and the one with the full thing, because I was like, well, just use the one over the mouth. Okay, yeah. No, I can't sleep at all.
Yeah, it's like your alien
and so that was how I got to where I was able to use one in the first place. I tried, this thing, and it couldn't really do it, and and I was breathing through my nose when I was, but when it would switch over, it would wake me up. Oh, what's going on? I'm breathing through, so it just didn't work. The nose only thing.
Yeah.
That worked. Okay. So here I am, struggling. The days, by the time we got into September, this was becoming painful. Almost. Not like a bad pain, but it was like you could just feel.
Pressure.
Yeah. And it would just, you could just feel it.
Yeah.
And now I'm not able to breathe. Okay. And then you're just having this, is the surgery going to fix it? And I don't know. And how long have I been struggling with it? What happens if the surgery doesn't fix it? And I'm like this, forever. And it just, I can lens out now and go, golly, that was really stupid. But the problem is when you're in the thick of that, when you've got this problem that you just can't get away from, because literally it's right here.
Yeah.
It's not a figurative. It is right here. You can't escape it.
Yeah.
The medicine the nose spray began to lose effectiveness. It had been, but it was now losing it at an alarming rate. Mm-hmm. And I began to get really, really concerned because I was losing the only thing that was allowing me to breathe at all.
Yeah.
3 days before surgery was the first night that I didn't sleep at all. Sat up in a chair, couldn't breathe. Okay, well, now I'm exhausted. My anxiety is through the roof.
Right.
I feel terrible because I hadn't slept. Anxiety.
You did a good job of covering this up.
Anxiety drives the blood pressure.
Right.
Right. I just felt I just felt terrible and couldn't get any rest. Well, you need to rest and you need to breathe well. Okay. Cool. I know. Thank you. Funny thing is, I've been saying that since July,
Right.
Here we are, 3 days shy of surgery. I'm literally using nose spray at a rate that is ungodly. And I'm not sniffing it at this point. I'm tilting my head back and I am pouring it in. I'm straight lining this stuff, and I'm using a bottle a day.
Jeez, Ben.
A bottle a day to try to breathe whenever I would do it. And I'd use it, try to do it around meal times because I was starting to choke because, I could get no air.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was trying to eat like by myself, and because I would chew and have to breathe, and I'm like, I'm losing my mind. Mm-hmm. Right. Of course I couldn't smell, sense of taste had gone, and so it's just like everything sucked. Wow. And I couldn't really effectively communicate.
I remember you saying things suck, but I didn't, you minimize.
Yeah. And so, I was saying, hear what was going on and how trapped I felt. And the day before surgery, it was the only time I say it was the only, I think it was the day before surgery because that relief is coming, but there's also the coinciding line of what if it doesn't come, from the surgery. Now there's a whole lot of spiritual implications there and putting all your focus in, on relief from something that may or may not offer it.
Right.
Like the things that we always think that we need, or this is what will fix it, or this, okay. I'm not getting into that yet. We will. But now I'm not sleeping. But every time I go to swallow, just because how many times you swallow a day,
Right.
But every time I'd feel a vacuum pull.
Yeah.
On the back side of everything because it was so plugged and so everything there was no flex. And then there was like this thump, because everything would release. So every swallow, coming from inside in the back. And it was a level of misery. It was awful. And I was going crazy. Mm-hmm. Bad. Yeah. And the day before, the night before surgery was the only time that I think that I didn't fully entertain self-harm, but I did. I'm like, I can't go on living this way. Yeah. So this will have to be a fix or things will have to stop. Yeah. But that is the level that I was I was at.
It's understandable.
Now, I kept that under wraps. I did have a cataclysmic meltdown, and it really it scared my wife. It was, and it was bad. You know, I minimize things because I try not to complain because, you know, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know,
no one can help. No one can really help you.
No one can do anything. The surgery was scheduled. You can technically stay alive by breathing through your mouth. Of course, you breathe through your mouth for days on end. Even for a few hours, everything starts to dry out. So what happens then? You drink water and you swallow. And it was just everything, you know, was building. And it was so slow and been so gradual, but it was just it was worse by the hour. For 72 hours I had a surgery. And so, like I said, I've never been waterboarded, but I am sympathetic with medical suffering on a whole new level now. Now, that's medical suffering. But what happens in our own lives when we're carrying something that's slowly driving us crazy?
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about taking you to a point of terminating your own life or anything like that, though. I mean, I could be, but inside of a marriage or as a parent or as an employee, you know, what are you not talking about? Now, I say, well, I didn't want to be complaining, you know. I think if I would have kept my wife in the loop on how bad it was, that it would, then my meltdown would have made more sense to her and not have scared her as much. I don't know.
Well, I think the context helps our loved ones figure out what they can do.
Yeah.
And because if this is an issue, like, men don't do a good job, I think, in general. And I think even maybe a modern, I don't know, I think maybe everyone in our society doesn't do a good job of offering and accepting just comfort.
Yeah, no.
Terrible. Like, I don't even think I think it maybe used to be a guy thing, but I think pretty much entire society just sucks at offering comfort.
Because everyone's got crap going on now.
Right. And so it's like you don't want to complain, so no one around you knows about it. And then people don't have the skill of offering comfort because they feel like they need to fix it for you because that's like somehow, I don't know why we've.
Yeah. You and I, especially because we're fix-it people, you know, and I saw when my wife tells me, you know, this is really hard at work right now because it's a project or, you know, whatever they're doing. And I'm like, well, I need to fix it. You know, and I start to, well, have you this? Have you thought about this?
Turning,
because it's like, I'm a problem solver. And she's like, I just need you to listen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what good's that going to do?
Yeah.
You know.
But I see,
you know, but it does. It does.
When they say, I need you to listen, we don't even hear that as, I need comfort right now. Because listening is passive to some degree. Offering comfort to someone is active.
Let me get in there. I'm a comfort.
You know,
I'll take care of it. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, I guess what I mean is listening, but like offering, like not trying to fix it, but just being like, hey man, I'm sorry you're going through that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Physical touch.
Yep.
Kind words.
Yep.
You know.
Anyways, listen, if I would have thought I could get relief by telling you what was going on, I'd curl up in your lap and let you hug me all night.
I would have been fine with that.
I was like, so my dog came and got up. She likes to sit in the chair with me.
Sweet Penny Lane.
Yep. But I say it's my dog. It's Dina's dog. Yeah. That sometimes spends time with me.
It's like, that's why I was in my head. I was thinking Baxter, and then I was like, well, Baxter, no.
Baxter was passed out on the couch. He doesn't care. That's his domain at night, you know. So, but Penny sleeps in our room. Now, I'm sleeping, you know, vertical or at least sitting up and just, you know, passing the night away. Penny came in there, and I was really thankful. I was like, oh. So I kind of held her, but she wanted to sleep. And I'm sitting there holding her, and she finally wiggled, and she's like, yeah, I'm out. I got to go back here with Mom. This is too much. So I'm like, now I'm all sad.
Rejected by the dog.
I've been rejected by my dog in my hour of need.
I'm sorry.
And I was like, I'm freaking coming undone, man. All right, so we get past the first surgery, you know, and it does, or I'm in recovery. And they say the surgery didn't work.
Right.
So here we are. I've built this big thing. I've hung my mental stability on getting on the other side of this surgery, and the surgery is going to be the thing that fixes everything.
Right.
It didn't.
Yeah.
And So we figured out what was going on, and they said, here, it's the Afrin, I was sorry. It wasn't actually Afrin that I was taking. It was the active ingredient.
Right.
In common nose sprays. I get sued. So I was not taking Afrin. I was absolutely.
Well, I'm pretty sure they've already had all those lawsuits, and that's why there's all those warnings on the bottle.
Oh yeah, true. I'm assuming straight lining it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't fall under the use case.
So anyway, here now I'm in recovery, and Dina's mad too.
Yeah.
Because she's like, you were doing what?
We all were.
Everyone was mad.
I was irritated with you. I love you, but I was irritated with you.
So, and
it's so weird. He's got an addiction to Afrin.
Well,
but it's understandable. I mean,
so yeah. And so inside the doctor's office, they're like, you can keep taking Afrin until surgery. Okay. That means by the directions.
Yeah. As directed.
as directed. Okay. I wasn't doing that and hadn't been.
Right.
But I got, you can keep taking it. Yeah. Because that's the only way I am like keeping my mental function. I'm in the middle of a large construction project we're trying to land the plane on. This is not the time to lose my mind. Anyway, so we get, there's a lot of, it may not be okay, and there was a lot of just having to sit and sit with a lot of that and just go, all right, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does life look like? How do we go on? And treat that as the Lord will walk with us. Okay. I'm not experiencing anything worse, stress and physical wise, than exceeds what he experienced.
Right.
Okay. And if the man side of him can do it, then I'm created to do it.
Yeah.
It eventually got to the point that it killed him. All right. Well, what's the worst if it kills me? All right. I'm going to be with him. So really not a huge loss. My family would be a little bit sad.
Yeah.
But whatever, Banks would be probably okay that I quit poking on him about what he did wrong in the yard when he mowed it.
Stop.
Hey man, you didn't edge over there. You found the one spot that I didn't edge. I did just edge it.
You did such a good job in the rest of the yard, son.
That's what I preface it with. I was like, dude, you did. I said, you got everything great.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. That was aside. But so here's the thing, and kind of the wrap up. If you've got something going on physically, mentally, okay, and it's eating at you, you are past the point of needing to talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
Go now.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be an addiction issue. Okay.
Yeah.
Go talk to someone.
Yeah.
The more isolated you feel, and that was my biggest problem, was the isolation. I didn't know that in the moment, because I would tell you, my biggest problem is not being able to breathe. But what they say about lepers, the thing that killed them,
said that.
It was the lack of human contact.
Yeah.
That they had. That's what, just did them in. And so if you've got that going on, not just nose stuff, but anything, talk to someone, because you could find yourself in a place like I did, and it was but for the grace of God that I didn't do something stupid.
Right.
And again, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he was suicidal. No, I wasn't, but I was in that terrible, that soft space mentally where you can start to get into that.
Yeah.
And it was very easy for me to see how that's the next step.
Yeah.
And I was like, there it is right there. Here on this side of it, I'm like, how in the world do you make that jump where that is the acceptable alternative or the only option?
Right.
I'm like, good God, how desperate do you have to feel? And I'm like,
pretty desperate.
I've been to that mountain. I didn't get to the top of it, but I got high enough to see a whole lot. And I'm like, oh gosh, So there's a huge appreciation for that now. But like I said, by the time I realized something was wrong here, mentally, not I was like, I want to say it was too late because the surgery was happening and different things. So there was, the relief protocol was right there at the door. But what if it wasn't,
Right.
Because if you've got something going on, in here, there may not be a surgical protocol.
Right.
And so you're isolated, but now you have no solution, no hope at all. You're going to get to the top of Suck Mountain a whole lot quicker.
Yeah.
So anyway, talk to someone, and that's the impetus that I have, on what's going on. And don't pretend and lie to yourself and say, well, it's just a stopped up nose. No one's really going to understand what I'm talking about. It could be, you're just dealing with the loss of a loved one, or it could be that you find no value in your job and your boss hates you or whatever, whatever it does, if you're carrying something like that, it may be very easy to get it offloaded and free yourself from that. Okay, that's good. But what happens if it's a really big deal?
Yeah.
And it's still, be it easy, be it a challenge, you need to be engaging with someone to help you offload some of that stuff. So anyway.
Amen.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have, Jimmy, I think a couple of more episodes that we're going to release under what has been our routine protocol as the regular dad.
Yep.
And then we're taking what hopefully is a short hiatus, but it is an indefinite hiatus right now. We're still going to try to record stuff.
Yeah.
Put out long form videos on YouTube, but all the nice shorts and the different things that Wingard Media is doing for us, we're not going to be doing that for a season. At least I've got a lot of stuff on the horizon that I'm looking at, job stuff and different things, and the time commitments and whatnot, and trying to prioritize some stuff budgeting wise. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but this doesn't happen for free. And the Wingards love us, but they're like, yeah, but we're working, and so we have to pay everyone that's involved. But it's a pricey little number.
Yeah.
To do this.
You get what you pay for.
Month.
The quality's high.
Yeah. So anyway, this is my bass boat payment right here. I don't have a bass boat, but
You need a bass boat.
well, but I'm also not going to be getting that either.
Yeah.
But, I got to recover from this surgery because I paid for it twice.
Oh, that's right. 2 surgeries. That means you pay for it twice. Oof.
Because you still went to the OR. The doctor booked out his time. He did go in.
Yeah.
Okay. He did part of the work, but then we had to go in and do all of
Yeah.
the hospital stuff again and do the rest of the work.
Ooh. Didn't think about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Double deductibles. So that was
Yeah.
bad. So yeah. Oh, that's the other thing that I wanted to tell you. You'll do stuff that's stupid, like straight line and nose spray, trying to breathe. Would I have done that if I was talking to someone actively about what I was going through? Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not, because the 2 weeks in between surgery A and surgery B, I didn't take it.
Desperation breeds bad judgment and decision making.
Right.
Yeah.
But I knew the consequences
Yeah.
in real time because I'd experienced the consequences. So I didn't take it, and things started to calm down. Now, would they have calmed down ahead of that? And I asked, I said, would I have been able to breathe if I didn't take the nose spray? And you wouldn't have been able to breathe any better, but it wouldn't have complicated the first surgery.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to breathe with it, so it didn't really matter.
Right.
Yeah.
5
minutes here, 5 minutes there. It doesn't, that didn't change anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, that's the wrap up on that. I don't have a social media profile to share for this episode. There's a couple. I'll look between takes here, and as we queue up the next one, I'll get something. But anyway, you got anything to add to that?
No.
All right. Well, that's pretty simple. All
Yes.
right. Well, we'll see you here next time on the Regular Dad on the Cowboy Rides Away tour.
Into the sunset.
Yeah, something.
What?
There we go. See you.
Shouldn't have